Hello everybody and welcome back to On Point HQ, and a quick question for you all. What do you get if you spend 3.5 months working on a bolt action project where you've kit bashed or converted every single figure? Well, you get this. That's right everybody, my long running winter US Airborne project has finally completed. It's taken me a lot longer than I initially envisaged, just over 3 months to complete this lot. It's because every single piece, every single figure is plastic and has been converted or kit bashed in some way, shape or form. I think that's why it's taken me so long, but it's been one of the most enjoyable bolt action projects I've worked on. It's been so rewarding to combine all the different kits to come up with a scheme and to tie it all together, and I really can't wait to get this onto the tabletop. The only problem being I've got to knock up some winter scenery, which I'm not too keen on doing, but we'll cross that particular snowy bridge when we come to it. So what I thought I'd do is a bit of a showcase video just to outline what makes up the project, what makes up the platoon, the individual figures, the individual units, and just show you the bits and pieces that I've worked on over the past three and a bit months. So the army is based on the 1944 Bastogne theatre selector from the Armies of the United States bolt action book. Comes in at around 1,500 points. It's actually 1,433 points and 14 order dice. And I think I'm going to leave it just as the way it is for the moment. I'm happy with the options that I've put in. And the way I'm going to do the showcase is just run through, rather than just showing you every single unit all at once, breaking it down into HQ units, paratrooper sections, support and armour, and just talk you through exactly what I've been up to. So, first up are these. This is going to be all the units that fall under the sort of HQ section. Right, up first is the leader himself. Better get this pronunciation right. I get quite a bit of grief if I get it wrong. It's American, so he's a lieutenant now. So the platoon is led by a first lieutenant, and it's this chap here. So it's the guy with the great coat is the lieutenant, and the guy with the regular uniform on, he's the assistant. Now what you'll see is I've kit bashed him a radio. Yes, all the options in this project I've taken them all as veteran. That's why there's not much for not many units for quite a bit of points. But as you'll see, if you've seen any previous videos, I have combined the US Airborne kit, the winter German kit, and also the US infantry kit for some of the arms and the heads. But that is the lieutenant, that's the leader himself. That radio operator, I'm really chuffed with how he turned out. Really happy with him. So what else falls under HQ options? So I did a medic, and this is the medic team here. Again, kit bashed using winter German bodies and the US Airborne bodies, and bits and pieces from all the 3 different kits I was using. So we've got the medic there on the left and his assistant on the right. What's interesting is while I was making these, Stu from Miniature Realms was also doing a kit bash medic for his 8th Army in North Africa, and we came up with the same idea of using a bag like that. So we just sort of glued patches on. So I've glued them onto an ammunition box from the from the German Grenadier box. I think it works quite well, but it just gives the impression that he's a medic. He's got lots of equipment, and rather than use a standard airborne packs for these guys, I used the packs from the US infantry just to set them out a bit. But I think a medic at Bastogne, I think that's quite thematic. Again, very happy with the way that they turned out. The third option I went for my HQ is my sniper team. Now, oftentimes snipers are either prone or kneeling down. I wanted something different. I wanted them walking, sort of relocating, being a bit cautious, And again, these have been quite extensively kitbashed. I even kitbashed the rifle because I wanted it to be held in that manner. In fact, I was joking on the Facebook, but on the Facebook page, that guy pointing is actually, that's not his bright pointy hand. I actually snipped a pointy hand off and added it to a pointy armed body. That pointy armed arm, because it didn't really look pointy enough. But that's the sniper team. Again, based on the winter German body, but with lots of American equipment added to it. And just something a bit different. You don't often see snipers standing up, so I thought I'd do something else a little bit different on that front. And the last option for what I call the HQ unit is this. Now this is a forward observer team. I went a bit over the top with this, I'll be completely honest. The base is a bit out there, but these are essentially just sort of one piece for forward observers. You get sort of one shot and that's it. As you can see, another kitbashed radio set there, and the wire there is from that Revell helicopter that I've been cannibalizing for the past year or so. But that is the forward observation team. Again, quite an involved build putting these guys together, but I think it was worth it. I just love that pose. I just think they work really, really well together. Again, a bit of an over the top base, but that's me. That's what I like. So they were the options for the HQ unit. So up next will be the infantry base. Because they're infantry, the paratroopers. Up next will be the paratrooper sections. Okay, so here we have the bulk of the platoon. These are the individual airborne sections, airborne squads rather. They're all 10 man, and they're all a combination of rifles and submachine guns. You do get the option to take a light machine gun with these chaps. I've chosen not to for the moment. I will definitely go back at some point and add an LMG option to each squad, but for the moment I just wanted them to be rifles and SMGs. So there they are from the rear. Again, a combination of US Airborne bodies and winter German greatcoats, festooned with equipment and weapons and snow. So that is the first one. Up next we have the second one. Now you might recognise the NCO in this from the kit bashing videos that I've been doing recently. So there he is there. So this is number 2 set, number 2 squad. Again, really, really simple colour scheme on these guys. If you've seen the video, I'll link it in the description below of how I go about painting these. Really quite simple. Very, very reliant on washes and basic highlights. Being very careful because I don't think one of these guys is stuck down properly. He's liable to go for a fall. But there we go. That's the second squad. So actually all 10 man, all armed with a combination of rifles and submachine guns. And so the last one we have is here. Which again, it's another 10 man squad. I just think the mixture of greatcoats and standard airborne uniforms gives it a real diverse look. I want them to be, a bit ragtag. They've been caught off guard at Bastogne. They're outnumbered. They're grabbing equipment from where they can. That's what I really wanted to go for. With the winter effect as well. I mentioned this. I was chatting to someone. I think it was on Facebook, and I've kept the snow effect to a minimum because I think sometimes it can be too much. It can be too overbearing, and it sort of takes away from the miniature. So what all I've done is I've added a bit to the base and a slight bit of snow and ice and camouflage for the helmets, just to give them that impression that they're in a wintry forest, but not too much. So they're the 3 paratrooper sections, and they make up sort of the bulk of the troops in the army. But up next we'll be having a look at the third options, which are my support options. So first up we have this, which is a heavy machine gun team. What you'll notice is these aren't the original crews. I've kit bashed every single crew member for all my support options out of plastic kits. I do this for a number of reasons. One, I like to keep all my armies plastic, but I think scale wise sometimes the metal crews don't quite scale as well with the plastic counterparts. But I really enjoy putting this together. I think it's got a real feel to it. They look like individuals, like they're in the middle of a battle. And it took me a while actually to get the pose just the way I wanted it. But that's the heavy machine gun team. Very, very happy, very proud of this one actually. It's one of my favourite pieces that I've made. They all just got a certain fatalistic look about it. But that was the first option. The second option, again with a kit bashed crew, are these chaps. So this is the Medie and Mortar team. Again, all replaced with plastics from a variety of different kits. Again, it's just the posing to me is really important. Somebody mentioned, I think it was in either a Facebook group or a YouTube comment, how my kit bashes always look sort of lifelike, and that's one thing I always aim for. I always like the poses to be as natural as I can get them, and I can often go, you know, half an hour getting that right pose. If it doesn't look right, I don't go with it. And what we have with these is I built them a spotter as well. There's rifle slung over his shoulder. That is actually two weapons in one. It's the pump action shotgun arm from the US infantry box, which I snipped at the hand and then added a Garand. I just wanted him to have that resting my rifle over my shoulder look while I'm clutching some binoculars. So he's the spotter for the medium mortar team. They work really well together. And the last support option for the airborne is this, which is a 57mm anti-tank gun. Again, same with the others, kit bash crew, all been replaced. The gun's metal, but all the crew are plastic. This was more challenging because I always find mortars and medium machine gun teams, I don't normally have a problem with these, but the bigger sort of artillery or anti-tank guns, getting the plastics to fit them is a bit of a pain sometimes, but this went together really well. I'm quite happy. I'm not happy with the chap in the middle. He's sort of looking in the wrong direction. He's meant to be bellowing at that guy, but they're not quite on the same level. But it's a minor thing that annoys me. But again, oversized base, which is, you know, what I'm prone to do every now and again. Again, not too much in the way of snow and winter effects, just kept it to a minimum so as not to detract or take people's attention away from the actual model. And I've added some stowage there, so some boxes, jerry can, and some rolls. There's something actually missing from this project, and it does relate to this, which is a tow. This because of the size of this piece, it needs a tow. I need to get a Jeep. I've not added that yet because I'm still in two minds about what sort of Jeep to add, but I'm pretty sure I'll add one in the future. So that's all the support options out of the way. Oh, no, there isn't. Then there's these guys. Now, this list allows me to take 3 bazooka teams, so that's exactly what I've done. Taking all 3. So here we go. So we've got this team here kneeling down. We've got 2 teams here all stood up. So the bazookas actually come from the US infantry box. I don't think there's any other plastic kits do. I think the US Marine Corps one does, but the arms fit really well with these. I don't think you can get there's no plastic airborne bazooka out there. So I set to and kit bash me 3 bazooka teams just because I can take them. And who doesn't like more bazookas? If you can hit, which I can't. That's just my dice rolling again. So they are the 3 Bazooka Team options. Again, very happy the way these turned out. I wanted the poses just so like they're either relocating or they're actually in the middle of a firefight. So that is the last of the support options. Only one bit left now, and up next will be the armoured support. So here we have the first of the armoured support. Now this is it's a Hellcat. Now I was in two minds about what armoured support to add to the platoon. There's quite a few options on there, Shermans, M10s, but for me the Hellcat has always been really sort of, I like the look of it, and for me it's the rule of cool. Go with what's cool rather than what's sort of spectacular in game, and so I went with the Hellcat. I love the model, and it gave me a good chance to go a bit over the top with the weathering. So again, what I did was, rather than go for a lot of snow camouflage, I went for sort of a worn out, washed out look. So that just involved painting it in the normal green that I would for Allied or American vehicles, and then adding a whitewash, and using lots of sponges and lots of dry brushing, and then weathering. And the mud and the snow hides a multitude of modelling sins, and it's great for that. It's very handy. So I'm looking forward to using it. I've never used a Hellcat in bolt action before, so I'm looking forward to using this. Lovely model. Had a lot of fun putting this together, and painting it was also very entertaining. The basing, basing is very much a preference thing. Some people base their vehicles, some people don't. I love basing my vehicles. I just think it gives it something more like a mini diorama. But that's the Hellcat. As you see, I haven't put the crew in, mainly because they are slightly out of scale compared to the rest of the guys, and I like to keep them all the same size. And the last piece of the entire platoon is this. So this is it's based on the Greyhound, but I've gone for the reconnaissance vehicle version. A little zippy 6-wheeler with a heavy machine gun. Again, sort of the same principle that I used with the Hellcat with the weathering. So it was just a case of the normal green, and then sponging and dry brushing to get to that washed out, faded. I didn't want a completely white vehicle, and then just went in and weathered with snow and the mud to give it that sort of lived in, it's been zipping around the forest of Bastogne look. I actually really like this vehicle. I can't wait to use it. There's just something about it. Just looks really good. But that was a lot of fun to put together. I did that in 2 sessions over 2 nights, and I really enjoyed painting that. I can't wait to get it on the table. So there we go. That's all 1400 points of US Airborne completed. I've got to say, I mentioned it earlier, but I had a lot of fun putting this together, and I hope it's inspired people to step outside of standard kits. Do kit bashing, convert, make your own figures. That's what I love about this. The kit bashing side of things is that I've got an army that no one else has got. All my figures are unique, all my crews are unique, and it just gives me that sort of extra satisfaction at the end of the day in completing a project. So that is fully completed. It's all done. I need to add a Jeep. I'm going to add those LMG options at a later date, but for the most part it's done. And I hope you enjoyed the showcase as much as I enjoyed putting it together. It was a great build and really a lot of fun to work on. If you've got any comments or questions about this, or bolt action, or gaming, or kit bashing, or anything under the sun, leave them in the comments below, and I'll certainly respond to all comments and questions. But as always, thanks for watching. Do take care. May your dice roll well, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So bye bye for now.